Okay, this is part 2, picking up where we just left off. We had last went and pulled some images for Twitch and YouTube, and we need to fix the one for our blog, just so that they weren't skewed before, as they were before. Let's see. There's the new Twitch one. It's not so skewed anymore. Nice. So I guess first, I'm going to fix that blog image. I am not a Photoshop user, and even worse, I'm not a GIMP user. I can work my way around, but I am not very good, so you may see me do things that are a little strange, or that you're just screaming, no, do this, do that, and I'm just like, I sorry. I do not use, I'm not a power user of this. I know how to do enough to get by, and that's about, oops. Which way is it? No, you know what? Let's do that. Cool. Okay, so what I'm doing basically is you saw me select all those white areas and remove them, so we don't no longer have them. I selected all the dark areas and some of the transitional, you know, you can see on the edges there's some transitional to white. I grabbed some of those as well. I'm going to do a new layer here. We will make it transparent. Okay. I'm gonna keep selecting that black, but I'm gonna make a new layer on this transparency. I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to do edit, stroke selection. How much is 25? Oh, that is a lot. That's not terrible, to be honest. I mean, if you're looking at it, you're gonna be looking at it with a moving background and all that stuff. So if I do this and we do that, that doesn't look terrible, I don't think. Yeah, you know what? I'll take it. One thing I am going to do is to make this a square image right now. Canvas size, let's do 1000 by 1000. Just make it simple on ourselves. Resize that. Thank you. And then, boy, this is a really weighted, weighted, it's really wide compared to how tall it is. I'm just going to put these in a group so I can move them together easily. Except respect the right order. And then we move. No, really? Oh, because I didn't grab the layer group. I grabbed the individual. Okay. Why? What am I doing wrong? That's really weird. Normally, I feel like putting them in a group. Let's see you move them as a group, but I guess I must be wrong. Did they change that with the new version of GIMP? No. That'll do it. Okay. Why don't I make myself, sorry, I'm talking onto the microphone. This will help us with, there we go, guides. New guide by percent, 50% horizontal guide, image guide, new guide is by percent, vertical, Got it. And so what we should be able to do is line up that center. Boom, centered. Perfect. So file, export as blog.png. So because that originally was a JPEG, I'm going to have to go in and relink that, but that's not a huge deal. I'd rather do that than have it look all nasty. So for now, we're going to hide it. We'll hide that as well. And let's pull in some of the other images we have and try and get them looking nice. So this Facebook one is huge. So what if I scale that down to... Oh, but why is it... Oh, because I'm selecting... Is it because why am I selecting that bounding box? That's why, okay. As I told you, I'm still learning this program here. So I'm actually going to turn this back on to get a relative size. Yeah, okay. We'll scale that. I'm going to turn that off. Pull in the iTunes logo. We'll scale that down. I wish I could lock it to the center while I scale, but sure. Some of it's a little over, some of it's a little under. I'll take that. Spotify, let me turn off the iTunes one, and we will change the Spotify one down. That one actually should be able to do the same thing that Facebook did. However, I don't have those exact numbers, so I should have wrote them down, really, is what I should have done. You can see just a little bit peeking out over the side. So what if I... it doesn't respect that center point. It's doing it from the top left. I wish you could change that. Oh, what is that? Detach from canvas. Ooh. See, it undid that because I was messing with it. What is this? 705. All right, let me see if I can just do that right off the bat. Oh, no. Don't make it that big. And then pull it into the center. Perfect. Cool. You just barely see a smidge of blue around it, but I think that's because of the interference of the, like if I turn this off, it's really not that much bigger. I think we're okay with that. It's not rocket science. Definitely not rocket science. If you've been watching, you know it's not rocket science. Ooh, not that. I don't want the transform. I want the scale. I have to put this at 705. Close, not quite. I mean, this is a little bit of a lopsided one anyway, just because, you know, the top corners and the bottom corners and the kind of perspective shift that they're trying to go for. So okay, go back to the 74. That's fine. Cool. I think I'm okay with that. The Twitter. So this was a pretty small one. 512 by 512. Let me see if I can find. It'll behoove us maybe to get a little bit of a bigger one. Let me remove this. Delete layer. Let's try and find a better icon in here. Image. Tools. Transparent. What's nice is that's probably the one that he grabbed. Usually you can find some decent sized ones. Why don't we have a fucking normal sized Twitter icon? Wow, there's a lot of people like making their own. Why can't I just get the actual Twitter icon that's not the size of a pea? You do large and the 512 ones are still in here. No. This isn't square, but that's okay because that one we are saving is a square. So I'm gonna overwrite that just because we're gonna be changing it again anyway in a few minutes. So Twitter.png. Nope, not that one. You center that. Give it a little bit bigger because we don't have quite as much area around it, but I think that is an appropriate size for that. Excuse me. And then last one is YouTube here. Drop that down quite a bit. What's nice is it forces you to scale the appropriate way. You know what I mean? Okay. So it looks like that is exactly what we want. Is all these icons here. I'm going to remove layer 1. And so I'm actually going to do merge down to combine those two and then bust that out of the layer group. I'm not sure exactly how the next step handles layer groups, so I'm not going to tempt it. In fact, maybe I will do this and actually scale this up just a teeny bit. Yeah. And then I have a script for GIMP that actually allows me to export the layers. So I'm going to export the layers here. And if it does okay, there we go. Images used in logos. I'm going to create a folder, new logos, and it'll export those. We just have to rename the layer to the blog. As a PNG, yep. It's going to go ahead. You can see it's popping them all out. And if we look, these are all the ones we just exported as PNGs. Here are all the old ones. So what I'm actually going to do is just replace them. Replace, that's fine. iTunes, replace, that's fine. Oh, did it? Oh, it is not respecting, oh shit. It is not respecting our boundary size, actually. Why is it not doing that? I need to do this. Layer to image size. That's what I need to do. Layer to image size. Layer to image size. I'm sure there's a command for this, but by the time I looked it up, I could have just done this. But if I do that every time, then in the future, I will always be slower, but that's okay. And hit repeat, and I'll just do the same as last time. And you can't see it, but I can see. You can see it's resaving these. Now it has that padding around it like we expected it to. That is, I want that padding. I want them all to be the same size, so they all show up the same size in GIMP appropriate. Sorry, After Effects appropriately. So drag that in. Actually, rename that blog.png. I'm actually going to copy. No, I don't need to copy them over. Replace. So the reason why I'm replacing instead of relinking them all is because After Effects will actually grab them and use them instead of me having to do it. So the only one I really needed to manually change is going to be that blog one because we initially had the JPEG in there and we want the PNG now. So that's it. Those have been all normalized, if you will. I'm going to get rid of that for now. And if we move around, we just need to replace that. But if I go back over here, these should all be an appropriate size. Yeah, okay. Cool. So let's go back into the URL comp. Let's grab all of these and collapse them all so we can find all right, let go, please. Okay. The blog.png, I'll have to bring it down to the bottom. That's fine. I'm going to hide it. And then let's see, blog. Pop that open. We will change from blog.jpg to blog.png. The blog 2. Effects. Blog.jpg to blog.png. Collapse that. Cool. We'll head back over here. Just for my own cleanup, I'm going to remove blog.jpg from here. Delete. Okay, so now we should have, I'm going to let it shrug away for a couple seconds. This should appropriately show those icons at about the same size. That may actually be a bit big. I may want to add some more padding to it to, no, you know what? I think it's an appropriate size, no? Sorry, I know you're watching it at a very slow speed. There is a lot going on. Part of it is my structuring of the comps and pre-comps and all that, and part of it is just that I'm recording while I'm doing this, and part of it is the amount of things that I'm doing at once. I still need to do, I still need to do a stroke around the letters. That's going to be a little interesting. So there's two ways I can do that stroke. One is I can make not a duplicate, but I can make I can make a duplicate comp of that URLs comp and just change it to icons only, and then change the icons only one to text only, and I can just put basically a stroke on this composition. Or I can go into that composition and choose all of the text ones and give it a stroke inside. So I'm probably going to do the latter, or the former, excuse me. I don't know if I like that. We'll see what Dave says. We'll have to see. I might infill all that just to see what it looks like. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is, excuse me, URLs comp. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to rename it as icons comp. I'm going to drag it in right on top and open it up. In here, I'm going to remove the URLs just like that. And so we only have the icons on this one. In the URLs comp, I never end up using this. I could probably get rid of it. That was originally going to be those, but in the URLs comp, I can get rid of all of these. And if I go back to this, it should look the same. Yep, we're good. Oh God, yeah, look how much bigger those are than. Weird. Why is that so much bigger? Well, I guess it's a bad one to judge against. No, the Facebook logo is still that same size. Yeah, it's just a difference in icon size, I guess. But anyway, in the URLs comp, I'm going to go into layer, effect. So this is something that bugs the shit out of me. So if you go into here, and I go into here, and I go into stroke, right? And I do a stroke, and I pop it on this. It does not make a stroke. It does not matter how large I make that. It will not stroke that text. But if you click on this, and you go into effect, and you go into generate, and you go to stroke, it will still fail. Why does it still fail? Oh, shit. I thought that was the way to do it. Then I messed something up. because I was sure that that was the way to do that. Maybe it needs to be the topmost layer? No. Stroke, right? Make it a... Damn. How many times have I gotten this wrong? And now I can't figure out how to fix it. No, it's layer styles stroke. That's what it is. Gosh, dang it. It's, oh, fucking. It's layer styles stroke. That's what it is. Doesn't that suck? There's so many different places to get this stroke, and only certain ones will affect certain things. Why? I'm sure there's a smart reason for it. Please, if somebody, when they figure it out, tell me. Okay. So now there's a stroke on that, so that as everything will be stroked in there. It just adds a little bit nicer, because when all the white letters are coming around and all that behind, and the green ones, you can see a little bit better. In fact, do I want to go? Ooh, I think that's too much. Okay. So that does everything except for this subscribe button. So I want to see if I can find a subscribe button that you can depress. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's hard to convince somebody that it's clicked. You know what I mean? It's going to bring me sad, depressed. I really don't want to make my own. Like, this is what I need. You know what I mean? UI design series practice buttons. Ooh. Background color, padding on the top, left and right, bottom, the margin, the shadow. No, thank you. But they don't have... Default focus depressed. So what is the difference here between that and that? It looks literally like a drop shadow. Maybe it's slightly smaller. I can't really even tell. Button, 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 button. Subscribe, subscribe, button, button, button. Wow, this really goes deep into UI design of buttons, doesn't it? That's not a button, that's an image. There we go. See, that one has a different color when you mouse over it, but... that's not good UI design. You also can't scroll while you're on it. My mouse wheel, I'm scrolling, I can't do anything. Now I have this stuck in my fucking... All right, no UI advice from this place. Holy cow. Well, let's see what we can do if we fool around with this button. What was it? Unnamed, was it? Yeah. Oh, God. With do 600 just to see it. So if we have that, can we make a version that looks like it is depressed? Yeah, see, like that stroke doesn't do anything. It's the same. It's the same thing as before, where I have to go into layer, styles, inner shadow. Ooh. Hmm. Where is 0 though? Looks like 90 is above. Hmm. I wonder if I could do that. And then if I could. Sure, I don't really care. Oh, I don't see why it doesn't automatically give me an alpha channel, but come on. There we go. What if, actually, instead of doing that, can I drag that to a new? No? Oh, all right. Thank you guys, but okay. I want it to be the same size. This is why I'm doing this. So what if I did this? Boop. Remove that. Or even better. And now, on this layer, delete that. And this layer, rotate by 180. Oop. Can I then attach that to the top? And will that look like it flipped over? You know what I mean? Not that it flipped over, but what did I do? I have no idea why that went into a different layer, but okay. I don't think that really looks like anybody pressed it, does it? Unnamed 2. We'll stick with the naming convention that was given to us. No, it doesn't really look like somebody depressed it, does it? No. I think maybe we're better off doing that. Maybe bopping between them. I think it needs a smaller lip at the bottom, but not no lip. You know what I mean? So what if I do that, but we did transform, and oh, no. No, not that either. How do I? Yes, but no. No, there's got to be a way just to adjust. There we go. That's what I want. Transform that, and then we do move that. No, where's my there? No. How does that look compared? I don't know. Maybe. No, not that. I want transform again. Maybe if I really. Yeah, now I'm getting all wonky. Oh, God. I mean, the button doesn't need to actually press in, but it'd be nice if it did, you know what I mean? That's exactly what we had in Unnamed 2 anyway. Oops. Hmm. Can I not do 2 of them? I guess not. Hmm. I don't know. This is stumping me a little bit. It's all from that same blog. Well, the other thing we could do is try and make a button from scratch as well. Don't necessarily really want to do that, but it's possible. Layer new, shape layer. Let's see what sorts of happens as we waste some time, right? Oh god, so this was the hardest thing to do earlier today, was to fucking start perfectly on a corner like that and get the other end. No, that's not what I want to do. And get this box to be the same size, because I don't know, no. I don't know how to prevent. I don't know how to prevent the, God, that's not what I want to do. Stop, let me grab it. All right, delete. Earlier, I would make a what do you call it? A thing like this. And then I would want to do something like this, right? Where I would tweak this side and pull it over here. But look, it adjusts both sides. How do I adjust just the corner? I think I held... No, holding shift just does equal. That just does the mask expansion. No, that duplicates it and makes a new rectangle. But like I want a rectangle that perfectly fills the sides. And even if you do this, like that, you still are changing this side. So then you got to do this weird fucking game where you got to guess the halfway point and then drag it out the rest of the way and come over here and look and see. All right, you got to guess the halfway point and pull it out halfway. In this case, I'm just going to do this and pull it in a bit, because I'm not playing this game. It's a rectangle. As long as it's in the box, we're all right. So we got a rectangle with a stroke on it. If we do this, increase that stroke width a little bit. Wonder if we can use that subscribe text. What if I did a color key on it? And we selected that color. And then we just made the tolerance really. Yeah, there we go. Now I have the same subscribe text as earlier. I guess I just gotta kind of eyeball. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks about center. I don't know. I must be tired because I'm looking at this grid and I see 2 lines for every fucking line that's on here. Oh god. Turn that grid off. Okay, so subscribe. So that would be it. As is. And then excuse me, what if we did an inner glow? That was dark. No. I'm not even sure why I don't even see it. There we go. What if that is our depressed version? And then we have an undepressed version of just 50, and then we go down to 0. And then 50. Doesn't look the greatest, but I think it'll do. So we can do here at 4 seconds. We'll have that size be nothing. And then, sorry, that's 4 frames. That's not what I want. At 4 seconds, we'll have that size be nothing. At 4:30, it can be 50. And then at 5 seconds, it can be back to nothing. And so we get, that's too slow. What if we did 5 frames instead? And then 4:10. How does that look? What if I did hold? That's what I want. Yeah, so someone just clicks on it. You know, with that sound effect. I would consider even maybe not even doing 50. Maybe we do 25. Just get a little edge on it. Why did that not keep it? Oh, because I have all 3 selected. Duh. You know, someone goes and just clicks on it real quick. Beep, boop, beep, boop. And how about in conjunction with that, we have this position there. You skip ahead to that, and what if we do no? A little bit underneath. You go back to 111 here on that, and that way we have a little. I did not mean to move my dude there. That's looking pretty high, actually. It looked like it was in the middle of the thing. I'm not going to move it. I want to second guess myself too much. You can always change it. And then we'll change these to, oops, hold as well. And that way it's just, boop. Nice. All right. And so I guess what we can do is select all of those, copy them, and then we can go to 9 seconds. Paste those. No. That's not at all what I wanted to do. I wanted to just select that. Can I copy that and paste them at 9 seconds? Yes, I can. All right, I have to do this in, I guess, 2 batches then. We want it at 9 seconds because we want to click at the start of that transition. So it's like they subscribed and it offers you another place to subscribe to. So 9, and the next one is going to be 14. Paste that there. What's the command to open this? Let's learn while we're doing this. No. No. What do I want to do? What do I want to call this? Work areas and shortcuts. That's what I want, but I really don't want to. I really don't want to go watch a whole video on it. Video editing, yeah, organize for free, sync your settings, automate sequence from a composition, move your anchor point without moving a layer. After Effects work area. Oh, that actually would be useful. I should look up on that. Use the pan behind tool. Is interesting. Okay. Select file. After Effects. Put cursor in time. Wait, is this exactly what we wanted? Let me see if they do a button. I wish the scrubbing was a little bit cleaner. So how is he taking care of that button? Oh, he just changes the color of it. Let's see. Oh no, he's changing the color as it approaches. I think, yeah, he just changes the color. Yeah, not what I want. See, I don't know exactly what I want. What I want to do. What do I want? What do I want to do? What do I want to call this? No, move selected. No. Manipulating layers, duplicate, trim layers, moving time indicators. That'd be useful. I and O are the beginning and end of a layer. Okay, that's good. Home and end, yes. Kind of self-explanatory. No, selecting layers. Damn, that was when I wanted to see it. This is where they would put it. There has to be a shortcut to get my mouse into that. Ah, well, I think I've extinguished my time. Oof. Yeah, give me those frames, yeah. Because my mind thinks in frames. Actually, there's probably plenty of applications you would want to think in frames, but not this one. Oops. Ah, well, if you know what the shortcut is to what if you just start typing? No. Uh-oh. I'm going to save real quick. Ah, I see what I did. I opened up a VR view. Oh, no. I do have my VR helmet on right attached to the computer right now. I was wondering why the screens were going black. I was like, usually when that happens, my GPU crashes. But no, I hit the button for VR view, which I didn't know existed. All right, thank you, Steam VR. I really don't want VR. It keeps jumping into VR. Stop it. Quit VR. If you didn't know, no, stop it. After Effects does have a VR. You can do things in VR in After Effects. In fact, this is the button I think for it that I hit with the shortcut, which was like backslash or period. It was something weird. That's kind of sucks that it's something you think to hit, but oh well, I was trying and I failed, but it's trying to boot again. This is my curse. It's just gonna be trying to search for the fucking things forever. Quit. No more VR. God. That's how you GoPro VR plugin. Ah. Open up the preferences and change. See, this is the kind of weird shit that you gotta. See, but I don't know where in here, and my right screen is just dark. Why? Steam. Off, buddy. I actually meant to drop that down a whole lot. I don't see anything in here about VR. That's all right. I don't know. It's like you quit Steam and Steam VR still keeps coming up. Quit it. All my screens fucking flash. 2 seconds later. Maybe not, because this is not selected anymore. Maybe that was the key. I had to deselect that. 34. Paste. 39. Paste. I still got to do a little mouse hand clicking it as well. 44. Oop, no. 40. No. Paste. 49. Paste. 54. 54. Paste. 59. Paste. Okay. So that should be what I need. And then I suppose I already have one there. So now if I come back over to this outro panel and I pull in this button, removed unnamed, purposely made the button a little bit big, that's fine. Now we do this. Now it should. Oh yeah, now we're really crawling. Where it clicks. Yep. In fact, I probably wanted to go a little bit sooner. But that is okay. We have. Yeah, you can see. By the time that the DR stuff starts moving, this has not gone yet. So I'm going to actually. Oops. I'm actually going to pull the button backwards in time a little bit to move them all back in time. There we go. That's what I want. See, you see the difference? It looks like the button was pressed and then done it. Sorry that this is such a low quality, but we're really getting to the point where the it's starting to slow down. And you know, like I said, the way that I'm doing this stuff is not helping. So let's see. Actually, let me see. How does Windows? Usually, you can do. Let me see. I don't necessarily cursor pointer size. Windows used to let you have a thing where no, see everything's feedback in Windows. Look when I'm there and I click on it, see how it got lighter. All their feedback is not related to the cursor changing size or doing anything specific. So maybe what I'll do is get an image of a cursor here. We'll do tools. We will do transparent because that's important. Yeah, I was looking at this one. View image. What file type is this? A PNG. Okay. Not an APNG. PNG. There is a file type called APNG. God help you if you try and use it. It's not that bad, but boy, it's made for like. You ever seen those weird like animated emojis? Like it really doesn't stick to WebMs for most things, or the GIFs if you need animation. Cursor.png. I mean, if we're gonna be following the way Windows does this, watch it crash here. We really only need to have that mouse there. You know, I mean, even this, if you look when I click, a little dot appears at the very tip of the mouse, but it doesn't actually depress. You know, the cursor doesn't change. Nothing really changes. So I don't know. I don't know if I really feel the obligation to do anything. So that's what it looks like. Full quality at 100% size. This is the way it's actually going to look. Unfortunately, I can't show you. I know what I could show you. Nothing has gone wrong, so don't worry about that. So this is what. By the time this comes out, this will all be public, so don't feel bad about doing this. This is what the new layout is going to look like. We'll have that. We'll have that. We'll have that, and then we'll have on the left side over here, our heads. I don't think I actually have a mock-up, but our names will go there. And so what this is going to do is this bar is going to be when we're done. Oops, it will replace the segment that we're currently in. Like this one's the back in time segment. It'll replace that as the header. I made that top thing as well as a couple others. If you can't tell, I'm a little proud of how it turned out. This one might have been the hardest one to do, just to get all those background things are actually physics modeled as particles that fall and have gravity affect them and all that stuff. And so I had to fool around and try and find a one that would a seed that would let them not collide as much. I mean, you can see a couple cover over each other, but for the most part, they don't. This is another good one. Quick check with the screens going on and off in the background, and there is one more. Real and spectacular here where they're taking photos of celebrities, and so I don't know. Those are just some cool things. We'll have something to replace there, and then I actually do have one more than that. This intro panel I made earlier today. So this will be at the beginning of the show when we say, welcome to the show, blah blah blah, before we go into in and out points. Fun fact that that is all driven by audio, that movement. So that's actually Dave talking from an episode, as well as the glow on the live is all driven by audio. So in theory, I could replace the audio and we could have anything drive that. And I just happen to choose the talking because it kind of maybe will mimic as we talk. But I don't know, just interesting. But yeah, so that's gonna be. Oh, I should have had this processing the whole time, but we'll let it sit here for a few seconds. And we'll see what it looks like when it cranks through one. I also probably will want to put a little bit of glow on everything. If not, maybe a nice drop shadow, just to see how it looks. I don't know. All right, you got the click there. Everything starts changing. And I'll replay this at actual speed instead of it being slow like this. Like I said, this preview just takes a long time to do because we're doing it at full render and there's a lot going on. And once I render it out, of course, it will run full speed all the time. But maybe we'll let it go through one or two before we do that. Actually, the in-betweens are pretty quick because it's really just changing the background. Everything else. There we go. Now it'll replay the last 15 or so seconds. I think that's pretty all right, no? I like it. I like that a lot. Ooh, now, you know what? It really just came together for me. Wow. All right. Well, let's add a little drop shadow on some of these items. So the cursor is an easy one. We want some drop shadow on that. Drop shadow. Let us make it. I like the angle. I think that should be a little bit less. No, maybe 5's a good one. You know what? Oh, I'm gonna hate myself for this. What if? Oh man. Why do I do this shit? What if the drop shadow distance was tied to the button presses? Oh, fucking hell, dude. I don't know. I kind of like it. Well, shit. God damn it. That's not working out. Let's see. How do I select just those? Copy that. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I gotta just copy that. This is actually considerably easier than I thought it would be. That's the last one in the thing. Okay. So now it's baked into that. I think it's starting to cache all this stuff, so it's actually starting to render a little faster now, it looks like. Yeah, that, or maybe it's wishful thinking. No, wishful thinking. Or maybe it had done that last time, so it kind of could do that. And now we're broaching new territory. I think that needs to be filled in. I hate to say it, but that's an easy one to do, though. Also, weird, it's so high compared to the other ones, but that's alright. This is all sort of proof of concept, I'm sure. David will have some tweaks for me, so if this one looks different than the one that people see on the actual Twitch show, you know why. It's because I went back and tweaked some stuff. I probably won't do a video for that. But we'll see. Alright, so let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. The drop shadow, the shadow on the arrow, that makes so much sense. Alright, cool. I'm going to save that. That is done for today. I'm going to go ahead and export it here in the Adobe Media Render queue. Oh, no. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that thing. Let me find the picture. New graphics, images, blog.png, fill with white. Bloop. Oh, God. Okay. We're going to need to tweak that. That's all right. You know why? It's because there's some transparency layers there. It's okay. Nothing we can't handle, right? Weird. expert at this point. I'm going to actually remove that. Yes, because even though you're only changing one small thing, we have to go in, I believe. I actually don't know. Maybe it would pull the new textures, but it doesn't hurt to not waste our time rendering that out just in case it does not grab it. You know what I mean? The other day I was doing something for the charity stream. And I, twice in a row, was trying to fix one small thing, and I kept just exporting the same, taking that same line in the media encoder, and just hitting export, not actually going into After Effects and saying, re-export this with this new parameters. And I kept, every time I finished, I would look at it and I'd be like, oh shit, because it was like 2/3 of the thing which I had muted to help something else run a little bit better while I was working through it, and I never unmuted it until I exported it wrong twice apparently. So after that, after I unmuted it, it acted as I would expect it to, but I just did not grab it properly. Or no, I did unmute it. I just didn't resend it to the encoding queue, so it encoded the one with the with it muted. Because I think what it does is when you send it to the encoder queue, even though it might have a save file, you save the project. I think it makes a new save file that the there we go. I think it looks a lot better. I think it makes a new save file that the media encoder actually picks up and uses that. So even if you watch it catch up here, oop, there we go. That looks a lot better. So even if you re-up it and tell it to export it again, it still uses that old version. So, but now, even though nothing has changed, we'll save. We'll go to export media encoder. We'll have to see what Dave says about the lettering. Like I said, I have a feeling he's not going to like the VCR font, so we'll have to see what's up. Outro panel for version. I'll just do 01. I've been naming these, so I have older versions. I mean, I can show you. Before I even start, I have. Where is it? I have older versions, This is the original in and out points where they're all floating around like that. It morphed into this where they were falling as I was trying to figure out how to get them to not fall on top of each other. Here's another one where they're falling. It's a little bit slower. There's a little bit less of them. I think the rest of them are kind of just variants upon this. Again, falling slow. 4, 5, falling even slower, but you can see now they're on top of each other. 6 here. About the same speed, maybe a little bit less. And then what we ended up with 7 is that. So like there some of them went through quite a range of changes before they actually made it as a completed thing. But anyway, I'm gonna render this out. It's gonna take a little while, so I'm not going to record that. If you do want to see the final one, this probably won't be the final one. This will probably be one of the many intermediaries. Come check out the podcast, twitch.tv/dual redundancy. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, on our website, dualredundancy.com. Just go watch earlier when I was doing the text. You'll find where to find us. Every week we do I don't know why I'm avoiding looking at the camera. We do a podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern time on twitch.tv/dual redundancy. And we also later in the week put that up on iTunes and a couple other places to listen to. But it is about current entertainment. So the previous week we had just talked about the new Will Ferrell movie, which not a spoiler. didn't enjoy. And I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is about, I believe it's about Patton Oswalt's wife writing about a murder and about the murder. We're still developing what that is about, but that was pretty good. We also talk about in and out points, which is what I mentioned earlier. Small little blurbs and current events, So one of the ones we had last week was that they are considering using inflatable people for intimate scenes in movies, because you cannot have two people close because of the coronavirus right now. So weird facts like that, covering the last weekish in weird news and actual entertainment news and all that stuff. So definitely come check it out. We'd love to have you there. We do look at chat. We do try and incorporate people's reactions as we go through these as much as we can. So, come join us and say hello. But until next time, thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed kind of looking into a peek behind my brain. It's a little bit weird, not behind my peek into my brain, maybe. As I start from square one, find a solution, and walk my way there. But anyway, thank you guys. I hope I see you again soon. Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video. I know that some of the VODs can get a little bit long, so I do appreciate you sticking around. I'd like to ask real quick, if you have a friend or someone close to you who you think would like a clip or a portion or even the whole stream, please feel free to reach out to them and share this with them. I'm always looking for more respectful people to come hang out and have some fun. If you've already done that or want to help me out some other way, feel free to check out the video description for some other ways you can help support me. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.